Hey y'all, it's Chris, and today I'll be going over 5 photography tips and tricks that I learned as a 4-year photographer. The first tip or piece of advice that I have is that camera gear is not all that important. In this vast photography market, we have numerous cameras, lenses, lighting, tripod. We have a bunch of gear that's available to us. I've used a bunch of different gear, and what I can tell you for certain is yes, some outshine the others for specific tasks. However, majority of products today are kind of made equal. Yes, they have a few variations, but they're totally minor, especially within a specific range. What's really important is your creative skills, and of course, your knowledge of your camera and its settings. Focus your effort on those two, not on collecting a bunch of expensive camera equipment, because I can promise you the camera equipment you have will not make you a better photographer. I have so many different camera lenses, but I can only use 1 at a time or 2 at a time depending on how many camera angles I'm using. What I will say is that when you're buying a camera lens, make sure it has a low aperture of a 1.2, 1.4, 2.8. And when you are buying a camera body, just make sure you buy maybe 1 year to 2 years behind if you can't buy the latest and greatest of your current year. Photography tip number 2 is pick your focal point. Identify your photo subject and focus on it. Whether it's a model, a product, a landscape, you need to know exactly what you want to get in focus and focus on that when you're taking your shot. When it comes to focusing on people, which is my forte, you want to get both of the model's eyes sharp in focus. To do that, you need to use your camera's focus settings, whether that's center, zone, object tracking. You need to use the best tracking method for your shot. And also, try techniques like background blur to separate your subject from the background. The third tip is to learn the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds in photography is pretty much dividing your shot into 3 equal pieces vertically and horizontally. What's recommended is to place your subject off center to have a captivating composition. Many cameras also offer the ability to turn on grids so you can have that perfect composition. For me, I kind of always get my model in the middle of the camera, which is not technically what they say is the most ideal thing to have in photography, but that's just my style. The fourth tip is to change your angles. When you're capturing the subject, it's okay to get that shot from all different aspects. So you can get one from standing in the middle, you can get one from standing to the left of your subject, and also standing to the right. Your goal is to capture unique perspectives by moving around your subject. It's okay to use high, low, and skewed angles to create depth and invoke different moods. A tripod can also be used to capture a variety of angles. The fifth tip is similar to tip number 3. You need to pay attention to your framing. As a photographer, you need to master the art of framing to drive attention and emotion. Utilize natural elements like doorways, hallways, walls, or trees to create a frame. Play with the foreground, add things in front of the camera, add things in front of the subject. Doing all of this will add depth, and that's all I have for y'all right now. Remember, it's all about practice and experimentation. You need to get out there and capture as many incredible moments as possible. The more work you put in, the better your work will be in the long run. Don't be afraid to mess up, because that's the only way you improve. Practice doesn't make perfection, practice makes improvement. If you found these tips useful, if you found them helpful, and if you also want a part 2, please make sure to leave a like and a comment on this video. It goes a long way for me and is a small step for you. Also, let me know what other subjects you want me to talk about when it comes to photography content. And please, do me a favor and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one though. Peace.